He was the man no one suspected. Clean-cut, well-dressed, a law student. Women found him attractive, men found him charismatic and intelligent. But behind the charm was one of the most sadistic and manipulative serial killers in American history. This is the story of Ted Bundy. Theodore Robert Bundy was born on November 24, 1946, in Vermont. As an infant, his biological father abandoned him. To avoid shame, his mother Eleanor created a lie. Ted was raised to believe that his grandparents were his parents, and his mother was his sister. This deception tore at his identity from a young age. When he later discovered the truth, it only deepened the fracture inside him. As a child, he was quiet, withdrawn, and observant. He played less than other children, preferring to watch people instead. He struggled to form real connections. He had an unhealthy fascination with knives and was a compulsive liar, even in his youth. But no one imagined this boy would one day murder over 30 young women in cold blood. Bundy excelled as a young man. He studied psychology, got involved in politics, and volunteered for the Republican Party. Ironically, he also worked at a suicide crisis hotline, helping desperate people find reasons to live while secretly planning the most horrific acts. He wore his mask so perfectly that no one suspected a thing. Not his friends, not his co-workers, not even the women who loved him. Between 1974 and 1978, a wave of disappearances swept across 7 U.S. states. Young women began vanishing in cities like Seattle, Salt Lake City, Denver, and Tallahassee. Many shared striking similarities. Long dark hair, parted in the middle, Bundy's preferred type. He approached them in public places, college campuses, libraries, beaches. Pretending to be injured, he would ask for help carrying books or retrieving his keys. When they got close, the mask fell away, and the monster emerged. Bundy abducted his victims, took them to remote locations, and tortured them before killing them. Often he would return to their bodies to commit acts that defy description, necrophilia among them. For Bundy, murder wasn't just killing. It was about control, domination, playing God. In 1975, he was finally arrested. Police found rope, handcuffs, and a ski mask in his car. But even then, Bundy used his intelligence and charm to stall the process. He acted as his own attorney, representing himself in court. At one point, he even proposed to a witness in the middle of the trial, on record. And through it all, he smiled for the cameras, as if he were the star of his own twisted drama. Despite the performance, the evidence was overwhelming. In 1979, he was convicted and sentenced to death. But even on death row, Bundy wasn't done. He tried to prolong his life by feeding investigators information, little pieces bit by bit, trading confessions for time. And it worked, for years. But January 24, 1989 finally arrived. Ted Bundy was executed in the electric chair at Florida State Prison. Outside, people cheered. Vendors sold t-shirts that read, "Burn Bundy, burn." A monster had been destroyed. But his legacy didn't die. Bundy became the prototype for the handsome killer in film and media. And more importantly, he became a chilling reminder that evil doesn't always look evil. Sometimes it's charming, polite, smiling. Ted Bundy followed a carefully planned strategy when approaching his victims. He typically selected public places such as university campuses, libraries, parking lots, and beaches. To gain their trust, he would portray himself as someone in need of help. For example, he might pretend that his arm was in a cast and ask for assistance carrying books or unlocking his car. During these interactions, he presented himself as polite, gentle, and trustworthy. He used a tone and body language designed to lower women's natural defenses and instincts of fear. Once the victim was close and vulnerable, he would strike suddenly, knocking her unconscious and placing her in his car. Or he would lead her to a secluded location. Bundy often kept these women alive for days, subjecting them to torture. His control extended beyond the physical. He would also dominate them psychologically. Some victims tried to speak to him, to reason with him, even attempting to earn his trust before being killed. But it was all in vain. For Ted Bundy, it was a hunt. an elaborate game of power and dominance. This is Killer Archives, where charm can be a weapon, and the most terrifying killers are often the ones we never see coming.